there, you sweet and beautiful beloved of the Most High God. Beloved, if you are wondering why I always or why I mostly start off by saying you are a beautiful, you are a precious, and you are a priceless beloved of the Most High God, it's because you are beloved, and it's not always, I'm not mentioning really your physical beauty, but I am mentioning your the beauty of your spirit. I call you beautiful, beloved, because the things you do for God, the things that you spend your time doing for Him, and the things that you value more than your appearance. I call you beautiful because you dress up your heart with meekness, with kindness, with perseverance, with self-control, with patience. So you don't put too much emphasis on your physical beauty, but you put more emphasis and more focus on your inward one. So you wear self-control, you clothe yourselves with humility, you accessorize yourself with faithfulness. Yes, you accessorize yourselves with meekness, with humility, with gentleness, with faithfulness, with patience, with perseverance. So my quick little message for you today, beloved, is it really a need or is it a want? Do you really need it, or is it that you really want it? Are the things that we say we need are actually wants? Yes, because things as shelter, clothing, and food, we all need those things. Yes, beloved, I don't want you to confuse necessities with wants. Alright? Because most times what we are saying we need are wants, first of all, and second of all, those things can be found right in God. But it's like, are we going to Him for it? Are we knocking on His door for it? You know, beloved, He didn't say stop knocking. He said keep on knocking, keep on waiting, keep on asking. And it's like, well, if God isn't answering me and I'm constantly knocking on His door and I'm persistently waiting for an answer, and I'm just here. Alright, so tell me, what do I do? Do I walk away from the truth? And do I begin holding hands with the devil? Now, I said that as an expression, meaning that we can't allow our fleshly ways to make us give in to our fleshly motives. And you know, the flesh and the spirit are in opposition with one another. They oppose each other. They are against each other. So what our flesh wants, our spirit, it wants the complete opposite. So your spirit might be saying to still cling to God, while your flesh may be saying to try something that would give you that instant response. Beloved, David said that his tears has been his food day and night, while people said to him continually, "Where is your God? Where is your God?" Because they see the oppositions that he was undergoing. They saw how afflicted he was. They saw how troubled and how grieved he was by his many struggles, by his many oppositions. And so, did he ever turn from God? Did he ever turn from the faith? No, he wrote his heart to God. He even though he felt as though the Lord had forsaken him, even though he had felt those, even though he felt that abandonment, even though he felt like the Lord was failing to be his ever-present help, there were people who mocked him. There were people who were disgusted by him. There were people who, you know, they found joy in saying to his face, "Where is your God? You are here struggling. You are here barely making it through." But God, he eventually came through for David. He eventually revealed himself to David. He eventually made a way for him. But you know, beloved, that God eventually brought light and brought victory out of David's many dark and afflicted times. So, beloved, to leave you with a last word, I'd like to say that even in David's many sufferings and difficulties, he counted God enough. I really believe that, beloved, God was enough for him even while going through many challenging times and many difficulties. Some of them were unwanted, but even in spite of it, he counted God enough. God was enough for him, beloved. And you know, I believe he also knew that he'd see God's promised help and his victorious and mighty hand. But even if he didn't, I believe God would have still been enough for him. I believe that even while knowing that there was a chance that God wouldn't come through for him, he still counted God enough. God was still deserving of his worship and his praises. So I pray, beloved, that we'd walk like David did, that we'd have the heart for God that David had. And I pray that even if and one thing, and another thing I wanted to say about David was that he counted his situation a want, not a need. It was a want because God was enough for him. It wasn't a need because he didn't need God's help to serve him. God was enough for him, that he was willing and he served him while going through difficulties. So may we walk like David did. May we have the heart for God that David had. And may we, even if what we are hoping for doesn't come to pass, may God be enough for us. May God still be deserving of our worship, of our praises, of our love for him. So our requests are not needs but wants, because may we be like David, and even even if we don't have our desires fulfilled, God would still be enough for us. So our requests are not needs but are wants, because even if it isn't granted, God would still be enough for us. We'd still have everything we need to live a victorious life in him, to live a happy and fulfilled life in Jesus. So thank you for listening today, beloved. Thank you from my heart to your hearts. I appreciate you giving me your time and your attentive ear to listen to what I had to say today. So this was the little things I had to say to end this off, and I guess I'll see you in another video. Alright, bye beloved.